Well, fuming protests continue on the streets of France following the death of a 17-year-old teenager. Now, France mobilized tens of thousands of police officers Thursday in an effort to head off the widespread urban rioting following the deadly police shooting of a 17-year-old that has shocked the country. Commuters, of course, rushing home before transport services closed early to avoid being targeted by rioters. Now, protests, of course, have also spread to other areas of France, and what we are given to understand is that despite calm that has been urged by French leaders, protesters are in no mood to relent. The French president, of course, Emmanuel Macron, has called this killing absolutely unjustified. Thereafter, we've seen these protests blow out of proportion across France. Let's go across to Samiksha, who's joining us on the phone line. Samiksha, good morning. Samiksha, we are now learning that thousands of police personnel have been deployed across France to tackle with these protesters. But what, in terms of a plan, has been put out by the government to be able to deal with this situation?
Well, Nupur, 40,000 is the number precisely, the number of policemen who've been deployed in Paris itself. In wake of the situation that prevails. Now, there have been rampant violence. There has been arson clashes that have been reported, not just limited to one particular city, but in several locations across France. Now, just to give you a backdrop of what we know so far, these violence, the arson and clashes erupted after a police officer shot dead a 17-year-old boy, a Moroccan descendant, as he drove away from a traffic stop. The police officer who shot down this boy has now apologized to the family. He's been charged with voluntary homicide as well. And his lawyer says that he's devastated, but that clearly does not solve the purpose. As we see those visuals, how the situation has completely gone out of control. You see arson rioting there. And not just this, there's also footage of a crowd breaking into several stores at shopping centers, be it even Zara stores, and several high-end stores as well in several locations across France. There's been arson, there's been violence, clashes, and more than 400 people, we understand, have been arrested as of now as a result of clashes that have been happening between the police and the protesters that continued for third straight night. Meanwhile, we're given to understand that action has been initiated against the police officer who shot down a 17-year-old boy of Moroccan descent.
All right. Thank you very much, Samiksha, for joining us. So that's the latest that we are getting right now from what's happening in France. We are told that the number of visible police presence will be increased.